as you literally start to watch this video, like right now, someone just came up with a new charity organization or idea and they're thinking about approaching you. In this video, I'm going to share ideas of how to deal with this increasing number of charity organizations despite the constant income. Stay tuned.
Allahu, Allahu, Allahu,
So guys,
Allah.
you might think that you're overwhelmed by charity and you need to get the rewards. But as I was doing my research about being overwhelmed by charity, I came across this lady, and she was 100 years old, I think, or 90 something, who died because she was overwhelmed by charity. And I was like, whoa, it's serious. Like, she kept on receiving like mail from different foundations to keep donating to them, because these foundations realized that she has money to donate. Like, a foundation says, oh, this chick donates to us, recommend her to the other person. So people kept on saying, this one has money, you ask her. And the lady was overwhelmed and things didn't go well. So I think the charities stopped getting money. I know they stopped getting money. So basically, we are here to solve that issue before we reach that state. So the first thing, so, so I came up with an abbreviation, right? It's GPS. I wish I could do it in like robotic voice, Siri, Alexa. Anyway, it stands for gift. Then P stands for pitch. Then S stands for speech. Let's look at the G. A gift could be a tangible gift or an intangible gift. Intangible means we can't touch it, tangible means we can touch it. So the first one is the intangible kind of gift that you can give that outvalues money. Intangible could be a talent, a skill, or a passion. And the beauty about this is that you do it because you love it and you enjoy it, and in turn you help out the charity organization. So the tangible kind of gifts, we're going to call them resources. Resources meaning they have value, right? So you're going to look around the house. You look around the house for something that has value and could help out the charity. There could be gadgets. You could give the charity a gadget that helps them with their activities. It could be a laptop, it could be a camera, it could be a car to transport their items. Whatever you can think of that you know will help them with it. The other kind of resource that you might have that has value is a communication platform. This is the simplest way I can think about. Communication platform like your Instagram story, your Facebook post, your WhatsApp story or WhatsApp status. So you can post, and in the charity founder or organization cannot access the same people that you do access, and when they get funds from those people, it will be because of you, and through you they'll get the funds that you actually don't have. As P stands for pitching. Pitching is trying to convince a party that an idea is worth investing in. So we're going to look at two parties, one that's physical, one that's not physical, that you can't see. The first kind of pitching is pitching to a person that you're close to, that you know has money, because you don't have money, that you know has money and could really invest in this charity. So you can talk to this person, get them interested in the charity, then finally, with your convincing powers, the charity can get funds. And through you, there'll be money for the charity. What I love about this idea is you're going to look around at people you want to pitch to, and if the people you want to pitch to are actually people at the same level of income as you realize that you probably have money to give and you're just in denial. So it helps you assess if you have money and you're just in denial, and yeah, you give the money. So the second kind of P is pitching to Allah. This is one of my favorite kinds of pitching because it has like the rewards you get, you can like literally count them as you go on in this kind of pitching. This kind of pitching is like you get a night and you dedicate a tahajjud to that specific charity, right? So when you wake up, the angels record. When you set your alarm, the angels record it. When you move to the bathroom and make wudu, the angels record. When you place your mat, the angels record countless, countless blessings because of what you're going to do for the charity. So after that, you pray for the charity, dedicate this night for the charity. You can even do like dua after you know maswala, it's fine. But when it's a night specifically for the charity, there's some peace that you have that having no money won't have that negative impact on you as much as it would have before. And yeah, it's a two-way. You get blessings, the charity gets. And when you pitch, Allah has two people making dua, the founder of the charity and you. And when there are two people, their ability to convince is like joint ability, or and Allah listens to Jama. There's a there's a blessing in making Jama, making praying in a bigger number than praying as a single person. And yeah, the charity will get its funds since you prayed for them. And inshallah. Speech is divided into two kinds. The first one is advice. Advice. When approached for advice, my Costania talks about how to tame your advice monster, that part of you that wants to speak more yet listen less, by simply asking these three questions. Ask the person, what's the real challenge? Then after some time ask, and what else? Then finally ask the person, what do you want? And then Michael adds,
so that's the challenge in front of us, to replace an old habit, the advice-giving habit, with a brand new habit, staying curious a little bit longer. Because when you do that, you begin to empower people, not by giving them the answer, but by helping them find their own answer. Not by rescuing them, but by helping them find their own path. Not by holding on to control on everything, but by giving up some control and inviting others to step in and to step up. And all of that becomes possible when you tame your advice monster.
Advice, and the last kind of speech is a reply. I have been in a few charity organizations, and when we send messages to people to ask for money, funds, to help facilitate charity stuff, usually you get the reply of mashallah, cool, okay, and these are actually Muslims, and they don't mean anything bad, but when you respond with more interest in the charity than the person who sent the request, it has an impact on them than you would expect. So our response would be something that's so the most beloved response I think would be more than something that's in your predictive keyboard, predictive text, like when you type in your predictive text, something that's more original, something that will help out the person who sent the text to get more morale to continue with what they're doing. Then inshallah you feel like you've done something that has more value than money. Yeah. Adhikr is an addition to the show where we go back to the Quran and check for advice. The Quran is a gold mine that shouldn't get past us. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والتين والزيتون وطور سينين وهذا البلد الأمين لقد خلقنا الإنسان في أحسن تقويم أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم فبأي آلاء ربكما تكذبان. The first surah was Surah Teen, then the second one was Surah Rahman. So in Surah Rahman, Allah says, فَبِأَيِّ آلَاءِ رَبِّكُمَا تُكَذِّبَانِ. I think most of us were familiar with this verse, which of your Lord's favors will you deny? Right? The beauty of this verse is Allah says, which of your Lord's favors will you deny? Then he talks about a favor of his. Then he talks about a favor, then he asks, which of your Lord's favors will you deny? So there's a part where Allah talks about beautiful rubies, beautiful corals, beautiful maidens in Jannah. And then he says, which of your Lord's favors will you deny? So there is beauty that Allah has created and he considers it a favor upon you who is watching this. Then he talks about the seas that don't meet, and all this is talked about because it has so much beauty and it's a favor to us. And then Allah in Surah Tin swears 3 times before he says, لَقَدْ خَلَقْنَا الْإِنسَانَ فِي أَحْسَنِ تَقْوِيمٍ. Verily I created man in the best of images. So when you put the rubies aside that he considers a beautiful favor, the seas that their water doesn't mix, that is a favor, all that beauty does not match up to the beauty that is it. And you realize that there's probably beauty that you're not looking at. Realize that equivalent. There is no money that's equivalent to the special thing that Allah placed in you, and it's high time that you searched for it. The beauty of these acts of charity is their emphasis on strengthening the human connection. A Harvard study was carried out from 1938, studying a group of men from their teens to their 70s, trying to understand what leads to a happy life. Most of these men knew, just like every other millennial, that being famous or wealthy would make them happy. But after tens of thousands of pages, the study found out that the happiest of them were the ones with good quality relationships. The best amongst you is one of the popular groups of ahadith, but what I noticed recently is its emphasis on good quality relationships, and nowhere does it talk about being wealthy. We live in a day and age where lack of money is considered a disability, but when Allah said, "Thank me and I'll give you more," I believe He didn't restrict this to money. I believe He also meant that He will open your eyes to the gifts that you possess that you just hadn't yet seen. When we give in zakah, we give in 2.5% of our wealth, but amazingly we can't calculate 2.5% of a smile, or a hug, or the power to convince, or talent, or dua, or advice. We are only able to give in 100%. That's when it makes us feel fulfilled. That's how Allah designed it. So if you have the funds, give in as much as you feel is right. But if you don't have the funds, give in what you believe has value. I bet by this time you know what it is. The first letter is G and it stands for gifts. Gifts are divided into